Carlos Alcaraz stood at the edge of defeat. On a sunlit Sunday in Paris, he teetered on the brink of his first ever Grand Slam final loss. But in that moment, when legends falter or rise, he chose to rise. Against Jannik Sinner, in a French Open final already being called one for the ages, Alcaraz turned fate on its head. He didn't just win, he survived. He fought through 5 hours and 29 minutes of raw intensity, saving 3 match points in the fourth set, refusing to blink, refusing to break. The scoreboard read 4-6, 6-7, 4, 6-4, 7-6, 3, 7-6, 10-2. But what it couldn't capture was the storm behind every shot, the roaring Paris crowd, the weight of history pressing down on both men. This wasn't just a win. It was a coronation. In the age after Rafael Nadal, Carlos Alcaraz now wears the clay crown. The Musketeers' cup gleamed in his hands, and the echoes of 14-time champion Nadal were now joined by the roar for a new king. "I'm just really happy to be able to make history with you," Alcaraz told Sinner, his words filled with grace and admiration. He wasn't just talking about the trophy. He was talking about a rivalry. About the future of tennis. About two men born in the 2000s who now carry the weight of an entire sport on their shoulders. At 22, Alcaraz has now won all of his first 5 Grand Slam finals. Only Roger Federer had done that before in the Open era. But Carlos wasn't focused on Federer. He was thinking about Spain. About destiny. "To win my 5th Grand Slam at the same age as Nadal, that's destiny," he said, with a smile that masked the grind it took to get there. This was more than numbers. It was legacy in motion. The final, the longest ever at Roland Garros, was a war of wills. Every rally was a duel. Every point, a story. Sinner came in with a 20-match winning streak in majors. He came in as the world number 1. He left with heartbreak and admiration. Because both men played like champions. Only one could win, but both elevated the game. It started with Sinner taking control. He held his serve through 5 deuces in a marathon opening game that set the tone. He broke Alcaraz early. He snatched the first set. He looked in command. By the second set, he was bullying Alcaraz from the baseline, going up 4-1 and showing the poise of a man ready to complete the hard-court to clay sweep. He took the tiebreak. He went up 2 sets to love. The title looked all but his. But then Alcaraz changed the script. The Spaniard clawed back. He broke Sinner. He found depth on his forehand. He took the third. And then came the heart-stopper. Down 3-5 in the fourth, facing match points, he unleashed courage. He didn't just survive, he stole the air from Sinner's lungs. He won the fourth in a tiebreak. Now it was level. And now it was psychological. Sinner had one hand on the trophy. Now he had to regroup. But Alcaraz was in full charge. In the fifth, it came down to the super tiebreak, first to 10. And in that moment, it was all Alcaraz. He raced through the breaker 10-2, barely missing a shot. It wasn't luck. It was inevitability. When it ended, Sinner stood silent. On his bench, reflective, gracious. He had come so close. He had fought so hard. But the title slipped through his fingers. Alcaraz fell to the clay. He kissed the dirt. He sprinted to his box, where his team erupted. Hugs, tears, cheers. The moment was his. Carlos II, Prince of Clay, the French Open posted on social media. And what a fitting title it is. This wasn't just a changing of the guard, it was the start of a new reign. Nadal is still the king, but Alcaraz is no longer the heir. He's ruling now. And he didn't just beat anyone. He beat Jannik Sinner, the man who had looked unbeatable. The top seed. The hardcourt conqueror. The man, with titles in Melbourne and New York. The leader of the pack. Now, he's been halted. Not humiliated, not outclassed, but edged in a match that will be replayed and rewatched for decades. Because this was the kind of final that defines careers. It was the first Grand Slam final between two players born in the 2000s. It was the second longest Grand Slam final ever in the Open era. It was only the third time since 1968 that a player saved match points to win a Slam final. History. Written in sweat. Sinner's moment will come. Of that, Alcaraz is sure. "You'll be a champion, many times," he told him. That wasn't just sportsmanship. It was prophecy. But today belonged to Carlos. To the boy who grew up idolizing Rafa. To the man who now carries his country's hopes and the sport's future. He may be only 22. But with 5 Grand Slams already, on 3 surfaces, he's now building something even greater than expectations. He's building legend. This was not just a tennis match. It was a warning to the world: the future is now. And its name is Carlos Alcaraz.